Hello, welcome to Disney A to Z. Today's video, we're going to continue on our journey of finding the secrets and hidden facts about the Walt Disney World Resort. And today we're going to be focusing on Hollywood Studios. Now, if you enjoy this type of stuff and finding the hidden secrets, don't forget to check out our videos from the other parks. Thus far, we've done Magic Kingdom and EPCOT. So check those out if you like this kind of stuff. But like I said, today we're just focusing on Hollywood Studios. Now, Hollywood Studios is, it's a plethora of memorabilia. There are tons of things, little tidbits, movie props from tons of films from years past. So you could really spend days tracking down everything throughout the park that has a recall to the past. But for today, we're just focusing on the top 10 that I have. So let's jump in. Number 1, Eddie Valiant, Private Eye. So this is one where you just kind of have to be paying attention to your surroundings and just looking at all the little details. But in the Echo Lake area, just above the Hollywood and Vine sign, you're going to see a office window decorated or printed with Eddie Valiant, Private Investigator. Now, for everybody that's a child of the 80s knows, this is a nod to one of the greatest movies of the 80s, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And just to the next window over, if you see, Roger Rabbit has apparently been there and had to make a quick exit. Now, one other little bonus tidbit about Who Framed Roger Rabbit, there's one thing that makes this movie really unique. And see if you know this one. But it's the only feature film that includes not only Mickey Mouse, but also Bugs Bunny, two main leading characters from competing studios. It's the only film where they show up together in the same one. Number 2, Gertie the Dinosaur. Gertie the Dinosaur is much more than just an ice cream shop, although we do really appreciate her for that on a hot Florida day. But no, Gertie's actually here for a reason. Gertie is part of the first animated film released back in 1914 by a gentleman named Winsor McCay. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole backstory here, but Walt Disney himself has said that he owed a lot of his inspiration to Mr. McCay's work. So this was just a nice nod by the Imagineers to pay tribute to that, the early days of animation. And another little bonus fact, if you look around the Echo Lake area, you can actually see the footprints of Gertie walking through the plaza until she finally made it into the lake to cool off. Number 3, the Carth Circle Theater. Now, as you're headed down Hollywood Boulevard going towards Tower of Terror, you see all the different 1930s and 40s style buildings, but down along the right, you're going to notice the Carth Circle Theater. A lot of people just walk past it and dismiss it as nothing more than theming or background scenery on the way to Rock and Roller Coaster or Tower of Terror. But Carth Circle Theater actually has a huge part of Disney history. This building is a replica of the actual Carth Circle Theater from the 1930s in Hollywood. And what makes this so special is the Carth Circle Theater, I'm going to say that 5 times fast. The Carth Circle Theater was home to the premiere of the first ever animated feature film from Disney Studios, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, that was in 1937. Back in the late 1920s, it also was the location of the premiere of Disney's Skeleton Dance. So there's another fun one for you. Number 4, Hidden Donald. Now, I've actually seen this one show up on some other social media videos, but everyone always talks about hidden Mickeys, and rightfully so, because there are tons of them. But did you know that Hollywood Studios has a Hidden Donald? Now, this one is back in Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars area, but there's this building here, and if you take a look at it, you can see the kind of duck-billed shape of the door overhang. Just above that, you got 2 round circles that could represent eyes. And even the roof kind of has a bulbous structure to it. It could be looking like Donald's hat. And then we also have the blue streamer or the blue banner hanging down, just like Donald does on the back of his hat. So it's nice to see some of the other Fab Five characters get a little hidden secret in Disney World. Number 5, data pads. This is not so much a secret, but more something I think that a lot of people just don't even realize you can do. But back in Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars area, there's interactive things all around you. If you on your phone, if you download the app Play Disney, you can scroll through there and find the Galaxy's Edge data pads. And what you can do with this is you can scan different barcodes, you can scan doorways, you can pick up supplies, accept missions. It's a really fun interactive game. And once you complete missions, you earn credits. Any true like diehard Star Wars fan, you can spend maybe more than one day. You could spend days in Galaxy's Edge just finding all the different things. And we're not going to spoil too many, but just to let you know, like, once you do certain missions or activate certain things, you can actually, they will interact with the props, like some of the ships that are around Galaxy's Edge. You can make them do certain things. So next time you're in Galaxy's Edge, jump on that app and play around with it and see how much more fun you can have. Number 6, giant hidden Mickey. Now, sadly, this one's only kind of semi still in existence, but Hollywood Studios is home to one of the largest hidden Mickeys on all of property. So big that you can actually only see it from above. Now, the best way to view this is to go on Google Maps and you look at the satellite photos of Hollywood Studios, and right in the central courtyard, you'll notice the giant hidden Mickey. The central courtyard right in front of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway has a large circle area, and you see the black painted pavement for his eyes. Now, originally there was a landscape greenery oval shape that represented his nose. Sadly, that's been changed since they first did this. The whole Echo Lake actually forms his right ear, and his left ear was painted black on top of the building that now houses the Disney Junior show. They must have redone the roof or whatever and did not repaint the ear on because Mickey no longer has a left ear. But this was something that was really awesome when Hollywood Studios, then MGM Studios, first opened. And I still think it's cool that you can see elements of it still present today. Number 7, For Rent. Now, this one takes us back to the Echo Lake area and some really obscure Disney history. So you really have to be paying attention and know a lot of the past history of Disney Studios. But just across from Hollywood and Vine, you're going to find Peavy's Polar Pipeline. Make sure I say that right. Peavy's Polar Pipeline. Now, the secret is not at Peavy's. It's just above Peavy's, and a little off to the right, you see this tiny little For Rent sign. Now, you could easily just chalk this up to scenery, but even this tiny little detail has a story behind it. This For Rent sign is a replica of the For Rent sign that hung above the Vermont Realty at 4651 Kingswell Road in Hollywood. Very obscure, very specific, but it was the location of the first office that Walt and Roy used once they had outgrown being able to operate their studio in their garage. They rented this location, and if you look below the For Rent sign, you'll see the window office for Vermont Realty. But that's just another little tiny detail that Imagineers put in just to help create that next level story. Number 8, Tanks a Lot. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't include at least one movie prop in this list. And if you're going to include a movie prop, might as well go big or go home. And you don't get much bigger than including a full-blown tank in Hollywood studios. Now, this is not just any tank, but it is the tank from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. You know, the one where Indy's fighting the bad guys and he gets drug along the treads. You know, he stuffs the rock into the side gun to make it explode. And then for the grand finale of the fight scene, the tank actually drives off the cliff and gets blown up. But, I mean, it's a movie prop. It doesn't actually get blown up. But that tank now sits in Hollywood studios right by the Indiana Jones stunt show. And you can see it in all its glory. So that's just another cool little, not little, cool big nod to some of the films that and props that they use throughout Hollywood studios. Number 9, Andy's coming. So we all know the story of Toy Story Land and that you're shrunk down to the size of a toy. But did you know that there is a very specific type of toy that you are shrunk down to? Any guesses? You are shrunk down to the size of the Green Army Men. And now think about this. So when you're walking through Toy Story Land, like the statue of Buzz Lightyear in front of alien swirling saucers, you are looking up at that. You're looking up at Woody at the entrance to Toy Story Land. You are the size of the Green Army Men, which is smaller than some of the other toys. Hence why some of the attractions, Slinky Dog, is so much bigger than what you are. That's because you're just a little Green Army Man. And to further the point even more, and I love this little extra detail, if you're walking through Toy Story Land, look at the ground. You're actually going to see Andy's footprints as he was running and playing through the backyard. Just another little thing to tie the whole story together. Number 10. Crossroads. Now, every journey or every adventure at Hollywood Studios starts and ends with you passing the Crossroads souvenir shop. But even this little place has a secret. It's not just a stop for you to get a souvenir, to get a map in the morning, but it actually serves another purpose. And that purpose has to do with everyone's favorite mouse on top of the Crossroads. Have you ever looked at it and wondered why he's posed the way he is? He's got his hands outstretched. He's kind of leaned a little bit. Well, Mickey here actually doubles as a lightning rod. So if you notice, the entrance to Hollywood Studios, the turnstile area, all sits lower before you actually get into the main part of the park. So they needed something to be able to attract lightning to that spot to help keep guests safe. And Mickey's outstretched hand forms the point for the lightning to strike, and his other half is actually made of copper, which is grounded into the ground to whisk the lightning away so that you don't get hurt. So once again, just another little thing that, you know, if you're wondering why Mickey's posed that way, why he's up there, now you know. He's not just welcoming guests, but he's also helping to keep you safe. Well, that's going to do it for today. As always, I hope you had fun today, and I hope you learned something new about one of the Disney parks. If you have a favorite Easter egg of Hollywood Studios, drop it in the comments. We'll get it included into the next one. And like I said at the beginning, if you enjoy this type of content, please check out our other hidden fact videos. We have EPCOT and Magic Kingdom so far. Animal Kingdom will be coming up next. So thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you real soon.